Really fast, quick disclaimer. My cat is right here. Oh wait, he sat up. No, yeah, he's chilling right here. So at some point during the video, he's gonna stand up, and you're not gonna see me here. Well, let's see if I can show him. Say hi, buddy.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
There's that little guy. Yeah,
Just chilling there.
that's my son. But yeah, so just be ready for that. But yeah, let's get into it, Phil. I want to know. Let's go for this. In this case, let's do episode by episode.
Yep.
Like we'll talk episode 5, give our reviews, see what we thought. We'll talk episode 6, and then we'll see where we think the show's gonna go after. So we'll give some theories and stuff. Not gonna be a super long episode, I don't think. But you know me and Phil, we tend to yap. I hope you guys enjoy this bonus little stuff that we're doing. And yeah, let's just get into it, Phil. Let's start on episode 5. Got milk. Phil, you got milk?
Honestly, no, not in my room.
That man does not have milk. That man does not have milk.
Do you have milk?
Almond milk downstairs, yeah.
Lucky. Okay.
Yeah.
But you know who does have milk?
Oh.
A lot of it?
Do they though? Do they got milk? I don't know. I don't know if they got milk, you know? Phil, I want to know. What did you think of episode 5? Give us your score out of 10. I want to hear it.
For this episode, I'm going to give this episode a high 8 out of 10.
Nice.
A high one. Only I want to give it a 9 so badly, but I still feel like there were some points in this episode where, I mean, we do need it, where we're seeing everything that's going on in the background of like Carol's house, Carol's life, and how she's doing, how she's feeling. But I did feel like there were a lot of times it shot a little bit too long of her doing like random things. Yeah. But I still feel like it was worth it, if that makes sense. So that was the only thing that was making me not give it a 9, but it was still a very good episode.
Yeah. I think I'm going to give it a high 7. I think similar to what you said, I think this episode is relatively slow, and I feel like once the twists sort of come at the end of the episode, and I think a lot of it was just a matter of getting to it. So I don't think this is the strongest episode or one of the stronger episodes, but I do think it leaves off on a pretty good cliffhanger, and I was still like enjoying myself for most of it. Oh, my cat's getting up. Yeah, I was enjoying myself for most of it. So I'm not upset. 7, not a bad score for sure, especially in a TV show setting. Like 7 is pretty good still. But yeah, I think it isn't until episode 6 where things really start to ramp up. But yeah, dude, freaking, what are your thoughts on like some of the stuff that's going on? Because I think there's a good bit that's revealed in this episode. For one, like it's clear that the others don't, or us, excuse me, we as us, they don't have, or excuse me, they do have feelings. Like, they're not just like happy-go-lucky people, happy all the time. It is clear that they're like, hey, not only can they have full-on mental breakdowns when they're overstressed, but also like they're like, hey, yeah, give us our space, you know? Like, I don't really rock with you right now. And like throughout the episode, she's like, hey, and they're just ignoring her completely.
Bro, that took me out.
Yeah.
That literally, I was like, oh, so they do have limits. Like, I was
100%. Wow. It was sort of like a nice reveal. It was like, okay, so there's more to this. It isn't literally just that they're all what, like there's other stuff going on in the background for sure. And damn, dude, I'm just like, holy crap. Look, I don't know. Again, not a lot to say on this episode. I like her doing the recording stuff. I like the scene of the drone freaking flying over and just trying to like, I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is so dumb. And I just think this show is so good. You brought up how you don't love when it's like just too long on her just doing something random in her house. Personally, I like that actually. I understand why it could be annoying or sometimes a little boring, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you I love it. That's why it should be a higher score. I'm actually going to go to an 8. But I do enjoy it because I think it does a good job of immersing yourself in the world. And I feel like I'm a lot more in it when I'm seeing her every action than cutting around every like 5 seconds, you know?
I feel like I do still like it. It's just that I wish they would shorten it just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Tighten
I feel
up
like
a bit.
I feel like there are some times they can literally just like, or whoever is editing it can cut it down just by a little bit compared to the long shot they have. But it still does a good job of what you are saying, like having us know like what the rooms are like, what the feeling is like, where she is exactly. Because now I understand what her backyard looks like exactly. Because I think we've been there like 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it because now I know where she lives. I know the surroundings. I know exactly what everything looks like, and I am in that world. I think that the wolves going after her partner was pretty intense.
It was hard to watch. I felt really bad.
I was feeling very bad for her. Very bad. But I think that was very nice because here's the thing. When they all left, I thought the episode was going to make it where she's going to want them to come back, was going to like beg for them to come back. And I would have not liked that. But in this episode, she was very like resourceful, but we already knew she was resourceful, very like, I don't need you guys. Like I can chill. I need you for maybe small tasks, but I can still get it done. And I like that it showed us that she is not weak. She is a very strong person, and I am happy that I got to see that in this episode. I mean, we've seen it overall in this show,
totally.
but this episode, I feel like for me, that's why I gave it an out of 10. It just showed me that, oh, you guys are gone? No biggie. I can do stuff on my own. And that is exactly what happened in this episode.
Yeah. I think it also does a really good job of showing how lonely she is throughout this episode, because for the most part, it's quiet. Outside of the first 10 minutes when everyone leaves, it's kind of just shots of her doing random things in her house, like eating, drinking, making those videos, doing things. And like sometimes, yeah, she's like talking to the camera at most, but like for the most part, it's just kind of her by herself. And I think that then comes into episode 6 where you can like sort of tell more that she's like feeling a lot more lonely. But dude, that scene of her building the like basically the protection underneath her partner's grave was really good, only because it was so well shot. I don't know, the shot of her while the sun's setting, and it's just like, and again, like the camera holds on it for a good minute, and I was like, dude, like I love this. This is freaking awesome. Yeah, so worth, dude. It was such a good scene, super well shot, and I think you could tell something Vince Gilligan just by looking at it. I think that's just so proof. Like I look at something like that and I'm like, sure, there's probably a lot of examples of like sun setting, sort of just the silhouettes of a character. I always think of like, you know, the scene in like Gifted, right? That movie with Chris Evans and McKenna Grace. It's like where she's like the super smart one.
Got to see that.
There's a scene in it that like looks very similar, but like I think even still, like just compared to a lot of other shots that Vince Gilligan has and his just attention to detail and him not being afraid to hold onto a scene, I love it. I love his style so much, and I think that's why I'll glaze this show for the rest of my life. It could fall off, and I'm just like, you know what? I'll glaze him still. I don't care.
I don't think it's gonna fall off.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah.
And we'll get to that when we get to the episode 6 review, but we still have some things to talk about.
Yeah, let's get into the milk. Let's talk milk. Let's talk milk. All right. The episode opens with people drinking milk, and you're just like, hey, they drink milk. All right, that makes sense. Whatever. They're thirsty. But this, like, I like that they sort of have that little detail in the beginning, and then like there's like a slow sprinkle of like, okay, why are there only milk cartons in here? And then her sort of realizing that, and then her like checking the big recycling. It's like, these dudes only drink milk. I loved the way she investigated that. Like, I think it was so cool the way she's like, okay, it's here. I'm gonna go to this place, and that just like, oh, dude, that made me uncomfortable. I don't know. That entire scene, I'm waiting for something to jump out, and nothing ever does. But even still, I was just like, ooh, like I'm on the edge of my seat right now. Like, what's in here? What's going on?
That's why I was really shook with. Or that's why I really liked this episode, because her getting to the bottom of why they have milk, and her going into this warehouse, her finding the powdery blue whatever type stuff, and then her eventually finding out the secret of what it is was like, oh, okay, this is cool. But that's why I gave it an 8 out of 10. But it was really nice to see that. It was really scary for a second, because I like you, not the jump out scene, but I was thinking they have to have some type of like fail safe or like somebody in the area watching that, because I was thinking maybe like they wouldn't want people to know that. That's why I was like, but you never know.
Yeah, I know.
They did want to get away from her.
And and then it starts to make sense once we start talking about episode 6 on like what their whole thing is. But dude, low key. So I watched both episodes today. I didn't watch episode 5 last week. I would have been pretty like frustrated if I ended off that cliffhanger. I've been like, dang, dude, like we're ending off another one. Jeez. So I'm happy I watched them back to back. I think it made it a little bit more palatable. But like that cliffhanger, I was like, dude, what is it? For like instead of waiting a week, it was a good like 10 seconds where I was like, what could it be? What could it be? Is it bodies? Is it bodies? Little did I know.
Yeah.
Little did I know. But
it was bodies.
But you want to hop in episode 6, or you have anything else you want to say on 5? Because I feel like that's kind of.
I just really I like the ending. I did not watch episode 5, so I got to watch episode 5 and 6 together. But that ending was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
Her face when she was just like.
I would have loved though to end on that high note of like seeing it, because then you get to ask the question for like a week, not in our case, but like for people that are watching it weekly, you get to ask that question all week, like what are they doing? But instead you're sort of just trying to figure out what was like being hid. So let's get into episode 6 now. I'll kick us off really fast. I freaking love this episode. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. It was really funny. It was weirdly funny, actually. Like, it was weirdly it had its moments where it like wasn't afraid to get super weird, but it also set up a lot of really interesting world stuff and gave us a few cool little details. Also, an insane cameo that like had me laughing so hard. So made for me. It's like they're listening to me. We'll get into that a little bit later. So yeah, 100% high. No, I won't say high 9, but I'll definitely just say solid 9. It's not hitting the peaks of the first episode, but still very strong episode. And like this show just proves to me that there's a lot more under the surface that they're still like slowly revealing. So
with me, I am gonna give this one again a high 8 out of 10. High one. Only because just like you, that cameo took me out. But also we found out more about them. We found out more about the rules that they're abiding by, and I really appreciate that. And I think something bigger is going to happen because we keep going. Each episode, we think we figured out or we found something that is bad about them, like Foley, even though the latest thing is pretty bad. But I think it's going to get to a point where it's like, no, this is bad. And everybody else is going to, or the 12 is going to like realize it's bad, or 11. Or actually, we'll get to that.
Yeah, I think so too. I think there's going to be a switch that's going to happen at some point, and it just hasn't happened yet. But just regardless, dude, I think just a really strong episode from a lot of different aspects. I mentioned it literally like a second ago. I like that this episode was weirdly funny. Like the opening shot of the one guy, I don't remember his name, but he's the French guy, and he's playing casino. He's playing poker with all the people at the table, and you're like sort of like at first when the scene opens you're kind of like, oh, is it a flashback? But that sort of hit me like, oh no, it's not, because they didn't show the timer. What is happening? And you quickly realize like he probably was like, hey, can you guys all just reenact like the scene in a movie for me, please? And I loved it. I thought it was so freaking funny. That's honestly something probably a lot of us would do if we were in this situation. These people are purely here just to make us happy. Yeah, let's reenact some movie, like some just scenes from like movies. That sounds awesome. So yeah, I loved that aspect of it a lot. Really cool. It was just really cool. But then him just freaking like living it up in the penthouse. Personally, think it's a little weird that he's having relations with them.
Yes,
because not in the sense that it's non-consenting, in the sense that there are so many minds in there, meaning that there are children's minds in there. They can't be, and I maybe I'm not supposed to think about it like that. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's like not what's actually happening, but it feels like that. So someone in the comments, let me know. Are there kids in there?
I just don't like it. I don't like how comfortable he is with them, because it's one thing if you're just hanging out and like talking with them and doing stuff, but it's another when you're literally just like taking advantage of the fact that they will do literally anything for you. And it just annoys me. Like, it literally just annoys me. Every time like these other like 10 pop up on screen and they're like happy and stuff, I'm like Carol. I'm very annoyed.
Can I be honest? I like him, actually. I think he's awesome. I think he's so funny.
When he's not doing the other stuff, I like him. I think he is a very nice person. But when he is, taking advantage of them, it gets on my nerves.
Yeah, what a guy, dude. He's freaking hilarious. He's quickly becoming one of my favorite characters, I think, in the show. Because, okay, look, you're right. Like, he's being dumb and he's just kind of messing with it. He's probably the smartest out of all of them. I think that gets revealed later, that he's very aware of the situation and he does ask questions. But he, like, is still just like, hey, you know what? I'm here to hang out. Give me all the nice cars that I can have, because why not? But I think aside from freaking why am I forgetting her name? The main character.
Talking about Carol?
Yeah, sorry. Thank you. Yeah, outside of Carol, he's probably the only other character I like really like. I think this guy from Paraguay though is he's gonna do something for sure. Where I'm gonna be like, I like this guy.
I like him.
Yeah, he's awesome. But we haven't seen enough of him yet, so I don't know. But I think he'll quickly become something where I'm like, oh yeah, I rock with this guy a lot. But let's go into Carol goes to Vegas. She's looking for him. She's like, hey, I need to talk to someone. Let me talk to you. So she goes to talk to him, and you get that big reveal. She's like, yo, look, they have bodies. They have body parts everywhere. And he's like, oh, you mean how they're eating people? That took me back. What? I was like, what do you mean they're eating people?
I got nervous.
Oh, dude, I know. I did too. I was like, okay, so what happened to them not being able to kill? Quickly they explain that, but I'm like, still like, oh no, like that sounds awful. But for them to freaking the way they explain what's going on is the most absurd way they could have explained it. This is where the cameo comes in, where Mr. John freaking Cena shows up. Oh my gosh, I was taken out. So before I watched this episode, I had seen people say, "Oh yeah, there's a cameo in it," and I just kind of assumed they'll probably have Bryan Cranston be in it or something, just like a fun little gag. Look, it's the guy that played Walter White. I was not ready for John freaking Cena to pop on my screen and deliver some of the most important exposition in the damn show this season. So, oh my gosh, dude, what a freaking trip. It was awesome. What'd you think?
When John Cena popped up, it took me a second to find him because I can't see him. I'm just playing. I just wanted to put that. I wanted to get that.
You had to say it. You had to.
I had to say it. I had to. But anyways, when he popped up, I was like, oh, so they are using like more famous people. That's John Cena. And when he was talking about it, and well, first I was still like, what the heck? Like, why did Brody know that they were eating people? And then when he turned the TV on and showed their video, I was like, well, how did they know that Carol knew? That was kind of what I was like figured on. Because I mean, if they had cameras inside the little like frozen warehouse or whatever they were keeping the body parts, I would have understood that. But I didn't really see signs of a camera, and I also was very like, nah, that really makes me feel weird, because I still feel like there's a little bit of something weird there. Because like, one, she was delivering all those little SD card tapes to them to make copies to send to everybody else. Two, she drove all the way over to Vegas and she never said a word about it, never said anything. She just went there and talked to them. Or talked to him. Or was about to, but still nothing came out. So now I'm wondering, how did they know for sure that she knew that what they were doing and that she was in that warehouse? So that was taking me out. But when John Cena was explaining everything, I really liked like how he was saying, like being pretty much honest, saying that we are 7 billion people, we're running out of food. This is the only other way we can get our protein, everything to keep us alive. But at this point, that's all we can do. So that was pretty cool to hear, because it's like, okay, you're being honest. You're telling me that seems like a pretty decent point. But through that whole time he's explaining stuff, I'm just like, how did you know Carol knew? Like, it just wasn't shown. I didn't see anything. So that's
I feel like it's pretty clear that they have eyes everywhere.
I know, but I still find that a little bit weird.
Oh, for sure, that they are kind of like watching her always.
I think there might be something else at play that is going to get revealed to us. Maybe. Like, they may have another power or something like that, or another ability.
I don't know. I think that might be reading into too much. Look, I think it's definitely a given that they have eyes everywhere. Like, they know where everyone is at all times. So I don't think there's like another power at play, but there could be something going on. Like, there could still be some malice. And I think that gets a little bit more interesting when he reveals that, hey, like, they know how to turn us into them, but they won't do it unless we ask. Interesting. Because I thought originally that wasn't the plan. I thought they were just going to do it. I thought they were like, no, it's what's best for you. And now they all of a sudden care. So I'm kind of curious, like, at what point does the switch happen? Oh, I thought you can't lie. We didn't lie. We just changed our mind. Like, I'm curious, like, at what point does that happen? Because it's 100% going to happen.
Yeah. That's what's really, well, that's the second thing that's really, like, getting to me. Because it's like, okay, she can say you do not have my consent to take a swab of my stem cells. But at the same time, I kind of feel like they already have done something like that. I not just that, I just feel like there's a way they can do it. Because with Homeboy, that's easy. He's been getting his freak on with all of them. They pretty much already have his stem cells, I think. Yeah. But with Carol, with everyone else, I think they can probably find a sample already. I think they could probably do it already.
Yeah, but remember, they can't lie. So they wouldn't have told him that we, like, have to ask for your consent. Because then, like, so if they say, hey, we have to ask for your consent, and then they're actually, like, secretly like, no, we're just going to do it, that sort of is like that doesn't work for the story. Because they said they have to be honest. So unless later on they find an easier solution, and they make that clear to the 12, hey, we have an easier solution. Do you guys want to do it? If not, we're going to do it anyway. Like, I think they'll say it. Like, they'll tell you explicitly, we're going to do it anyway. Because realistically, what do they have to hide? There's 7 billion people. They're gonna win. Doesn't matter. It's 7 billion
That
of
is
them.
true.
Like there's
Mhm.
nothing that they really need to hide. So I don't know. I just think it's really interesting that that was already figured out and that they're so open about it.
Yeah.
But they're not being open about this cure.
Yeah. So I feel like they're withholding it. They're keeping secrets, obviously.
Do you? Yeah,
Obviously.
that does imply that they're keeping secrets for sure. For sure. There's more there.
How many?
I know. I
How
don't
many
know.
is the question?
I genuinely, I have no idea. I'm very curious how you even like hear it. Like, what's the process? Is it gonna be like a little potion you make? You do some mix in, and it's like drink this, and you'll be fine. What I can see happening is they get 1 or 2 people cured. I think Zoja is one person that gets cured for sure. Like
Yeah.
that's a given. I think she gets cured, and then she sort of becomes another main character.
Yeah.
But for now, like, dude, I don't know where this story's going. I think we say that every week, but I'm just there for the ride, dude.
It's that hard, bro. Like it's that hard to figure out. But going a little bit back, just a little bit back.
Yeah.
What do you think about the people keeping Carol out of their Zoom meetings to figure out how to help them?
That made me sad. I felt bad.
Yeah.
But also, I can't blame him.
Yeah,
I don't blame
I
him.
can't because that whole event happened in episode 2, and
And the
it,
crying, episode 4, and like she isn't the best person.
mhm.
So I don't know. I felt bad, but I didn't blame her. I mean, I didn't blame them.
Yeah, but I just feel like with this whole situation, and they have valid points, I think you still should include her in some stuff, or at least just talking, because there's only 12 of you left. Only
Hmm.
12. But I understand you're like, we don't want her to have another freak out to either hurt my child or hurt like my family or something like that. But,
Yeah.
I think it's good that they're doing like that. That's the direction they're going with right now, because then it's going to make it even better when Homeboy shows up from Paraguay.
Yeah.
I am so glad he watched the video, Carol's video. Like, I feel like he's only had positive reactions whenever Carol has done something. Like everybody else, whenever they deliver him food, whenever they call him, whenever they're checking up on him, he's like, leave me alone. But then whenever he actually gets a genuine reaction, like an actual human reaction from Carol, he's like,
Like what's
she's
going
not abiding
on?
by everything I'm yeah. So when he watches the video that was sent to him and he actually goes, oh, her town's empty? Let me go there. Like there's none of them there. Let me go there. But I'm just so curious on who he is because we still don't know a thing besides he's one of the 12. His mom is one of them, and he owns a garage unit, storage
Do you
unit.
mean more so like his backstory, or do you think he's someone
Yeah.
like super important?
Well, because I feel like there's still a lot we don't know about him, and I feel like he is an important character, but at the same time, I think I just need to know who he is. I
Yeah.
need to know who he is.
I think he's gonna become a main character for sure. I think he's
Mm.
gonna be like a Carol. They seem very similar in that sense that they're like, I don't like this at all.
Yeah.
I don't think there's I might be wrong. I don't think there's anything super secretive of him. I think he might just be a very normal guy. But I can see him having a really good backstory considering what he said to his mom when she was like, oh, I'm so happy to see my son. Now my mom's a B word. And then they freaking like he drove off. So I think
Yeah.
there'll be some like really good backstory stuff later. I don't think he's gonna be like this like insanely talented. I think what I like is that for the most part everyone's fairly average.
Yeah.
Like they're just normal people, you know? But I like him a lot. I think there's potential there.
Another thing I want to know. I want to know why, out of all the billions of people on Earth, these 12 are the ones that weren't affected, and why it's specifically 12 people.
I don't think there's anything there either. I again, I might be wrong. I feel like it's a coincidence that these people just have a property that allows it. I think there's something behind what keeps them protected. I don't think there's a specific reason why it's like, oh, you're the 12 chosen ones and you have to defeat this thing. Like, I don't think that's what it is. I just think 12 people have something that protects them from this virus, and now they're going to figure it out and they're going to cure everyone. Like, that's my guess. I feel like there's not that much there, but I could 100% be wrong.
And then I wanted to just keep this in mind also, because I wanted to go back to the beginning of episode 1, only because I was curious. I wasn't trying to get into it, but at the beginning of episode 1, there was the space researchers or the satellite researchers trying to figure out this equation, I believe. we haven't really gotten back to that because I was kind of curious on if those people joined them and if anything amounted to that.
I think they did. Maybe like there might be something
Or did I
there.
miss it?
Well, so what it was they found a frequency. They were like, "What
Yeah.
is this? Hey, let's check to see if it's this kind of equation. Let's see if it's this kind of thing. Let's see if it's a signal. No, no, no. Wait, what if it's a virus? Maybe it's on some other code." So that's when they figured out it was a virus. They then developed the virus, tested on the animals, then it goes out. Boom, everyone gets turned.
Okay,
So like it's because
a
of their
virus.
they figured out that it was a virus that everything happened.
Mhm.
So like maybe there's more to the signal. There could be. Maybe it is coming from some alien thing.
Yeah, this got to be alien.
I don't know. I
It's gotta be
genuinely, I don't want to get. I know I'm being boring,
pressure.
and I don't want to get like my hopes up on like if there's more here.
Mhm.
I just feel like it. Look, if something was like, it wasn't a signal. We know that. I don't think anybody sent that. It was just something that was there. That has always been there. I'm pretty sure they even say that in episode 1. Like it's always been there. I might be wrong. Someone please correct me. So if it's
I
always
just want to
there,
know what you were thinking.
yeah, if it's always there, that implies that it's not a signal. It's not like an alien sent this because it's again, it's always since the beginning of creation. It's just been there. So it wasn't until they had the technology properly to be able to discover it. Now the question is like, I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
You see, so there's just so many avenues well, not just avenues. It can go anywhere.
It
Show
could.
can go anywhere.
Personally, I just believe that it is going to stay fairly straightforward in terms of like what the pluribus is. Like, I don't think we're going to get this like big, like there's a big evil alien that's pulling the strings and all that stuff. I doubt it. That doesn't really feel like this show feels a lot more grounded in that. It doesn't feel like a full on sci-fi thing. It feels more dystopian in that sense.
Gotcha.
So I feel like that's not going to really lead to much. But if they did, I don't think I'd be upset with it if it was done well.
Yeah, I would like it no matter what. As long as the secret is good, I'm there.
Yeah.
Like as long as but I still feel like even when stuff is revealed, it's gonna be okay. But if just have the secrets be good.
Yeah, exactly. Have the little twist. And so far, all the twists have been great. Everything they've slowly been like dropping in, I've been like, oh yeah, like that's cool. Okay, that's interesting. Whoa, what the heck?
How many episodes are left? 8 or 10?
And there's 9 episodes total, so
Okay.
7, 8, 3, 7, 8, 9, 3 episodes.
My bad. I meant to say like how many episodes is in season 1 of Pluribus. That's my bad.
Yeah, 9 episodes.
So, there's 9 episodes. All right. I just can't wait to see what's gonna happen in episode 7.
You think we end off something crazy? You think like
Yes,
final episode's a banger?
1000%.
Okay.
Knowing Vince Gilligan, that's his name.
Yeah.
With Breaking Bad, I believe all of the seasons that he had with Breaking Bad were always like crazy cliffhangers or something.
Yeah,
like that,
at
or
least the
crazy
last
moments.
2 episodes. Like maybe not necessarily the last episode was this crazy thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Mostly like the last 2 episodes are usually like big deals.
I think 8 and 9 are gonna be like crazy. I think it is.
Dude, I think I might finally need to watch Better Call Saul. I think it's
Oh,
about
you haven't
time.
seen Better Call Saul?
No, I've only watched Breaking Bad.
I haven't seen it. I've
Yeah.
only seen Breaking Bad as well.
I honestly think it's about time. I think I finally give in, honestly. But who knows?
Okay.
We'll see. Keep you updated
I
on that.
do it, man.
Anything else you want to say on Pluribus before we close?
Honestly, man, if you guys aren't on this show right now, I say catch up because it's just gonna get better from this point. For real.
You're missing out.
For real. It's super interesting. You don't know where you're heading. And the fact that I don't think a lot of people are talking about this show, like the fact that that's going on, imagine if you're on top of it and when the thing happens, you don't get spoiled. Or you could be the one spoiling it to your friends if you're that type of jerk.
If you're
but either
lame.
way, yeah. But either way, get on top of it, guys. Please. Izzy, do you have anything else to say?
No, I will say it's pulling relatively pretty good review numbers on IMDb. The main show has 42,000. The most recent episode has 3,000 like reviews. So
Okay.
I think they're good. I think we're guaranteed a second season. I know they already said they have plans for one. So I think we're guaranteed getting it. Like no way the show gets canceled. I think they're gonna actually go for the full 4. So I hope it's great.
I don't think Apple TV stuff can get canceled.
No, dude,
I'm
they
just
don't
playing
care.
around.
They'll lose all the money they want. They've already said they're not making any money off Apple TV, so they're just like freaking doing this for the love of the game, which I respect wholeheartedly.
Yep. I mean, it's
But-
good content either way, but yeah, that's all I got.
All right, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching another episode, a bonus episode, if you will, of the Film Podcast. If you're listening on Spotify, I hope you enjoy our voices because we really try to have nice voices. But
We really
regardless, Like, comment, subscribe, and all the things. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify. I don't think I missed another one. Let's go. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great rest of your day.